You never know who you're messing with. And on a quiet country road, a group of bullies were about to learn that the girl they thought was weak, shy, and defenseless had someone standing behind her. Someone who lived in the shadows, someone trained to fight wars most people never even hear about. By the time they realized it, it was too late. Chapter 1. The Quiet Farm Girl. Emily Turner had always been the kind of girl who preferred the sound of birds over the noise of crowded halls. She lived on her family's small farm, helping her father mend fences, carrying baskets of eggs from the chicken coop, and tending to the garden her late mother had once planted with love. At school, however, her gentle nature made her an easy target. She spoke softly, avoided conflict, and never raised her voice. The town kids, especially the restless ones with too much pride and too little heart, noticed. They nicknamed her Farm Girl in a mocking tone, laughed at her boots, and whispered cruel things when she passed by. Emily ignored them most days. She had learned to carry her pain quietly, telling herself it would all pass one day. After all, she had someone who believed in her. Someone who saw her not as weak, but as strong. His name was Captain James Turner, her husband. James wasn't just any soldier. He was part of Delta Force, an elite unit whose missions were classified, whose names were never spoken in the news, and whose sacrifices went unseen. When he was home, he was her rock. When he was away, he was her shield from afar. Emily never bragged about him, never told the bullies who her husband was, because she didn't want to fight arrogance with pride. But one autumn evening, things went too far. Walking home along the dirt road that cut through the woods, Emily carried a basket of groceries. The sun was sinking, spilling orange light through the trees. That's when she heard footsteps. Laughter. The kind of laughter that made your stomach tighten. 3 of the boys from town, older than her, stronger, and spoiled with a sense of power, stepped out from behind a tree. Well, if it isn't Farm Girl, one sneered. Carrying apples. What's the matter? Didn't have money for real food. Another added, snatching one from her basket and taking a bite. Emily didn't answer. She kept walking. She had learned silence was safer. But they didn't want silence tonight. They wanted cruelty. They blocked her path, jeering, mocking, then shoved her basket to the ground. The apples spilled, rolling into the dirt. Emily bent to pick them up, but one of them grabbed her arm. You think you're better than us just because you're quiet. Before she knew it, they dragged her toward an old oak tree at the edge of the road. She screamed once, but a hand clamped over her mouth. They tied her wrists with a coarse rope, lashing her to the trunk. Her chest heaved. Tears blurred her eyes. All she could think of was her mother's voice. Stay calm, Emily, breathe. The bullies laughed, snapping pictures on their phones, calling her names. Let's see how long the little farm girl likes sitting out here. What they didn't know was that in her pocket, Emily's phone was buzzing. Her hands bound, she twisted, managing to hit one button, the emergency call she had memorized for one person only. It rang, once, twice, then a deep voice answered. Emily, are you safe? Her tears fell, but her voice was steady. James, I need you. And on the other side of the world, her Delta Force husband felt his blood turn to fire. Chapter 2. When Shadows Arrive. The bullies had no idea what storm was about to descend on them. James had just returned from a classified mission overseas. He was still in his uniform when he received the call. No hesitation, no second thought. He grabbed his truck keys and drove faster than he had ever driven in his life. Meanwhile, Emily stayed quiet, praying under her breath, her heart pounding as the boys continued mocking her. One leaned close, his breath sour. What's the matter, Farm Girl? Waiting for Prince Charming. A sound cut through the night. The low growl of an engine. Headlights flared down the dirt road, growing larger, brighter, unstoppable. The truck roared to a halt. The door slammed. Captain James Turner stepped out. His presence alone made the woods fall silent. He wasn't just a husband. He was a soldier forged in war, trained to face terror with steel in his eyes. And now, he was standing between his wife and her tormentors. The boys laughed nervously, trying to mask their fear. Who's this? Your dad, one joked. James didn't answer. His boots crunched against the dirt as he walked forward, eyes locked on Emily. Gently, He untied her wrists, pulled her close, checked she was unharmed. Only then did he turn to the bullies. "Which one of you touched her?" His voice was low, calm, but it carried the weight of thunder. The tallest boy swallowed, stammering, "We were just messing around." James stepped closer, his shadow towering over them. "You think tying someone to a tree is a game?" His fists clenched, but he didn't swing. Years of discipline kept him measured. Instead, he spoke with the sharpness of a blade. "You don't know me. You don't know what I've done. But let me tell you this, if you ever lay a hand on her again, you'll pray for the day you only had me to deal with." The bullies froze, their arrogance shattered like glass. They dropped their phones, their bravado slipping away, and fled into the night without another word. Emily, trembling but safe, buried her face against James's chest. His arms wrapped around her, shielding her from the world. "Why didn't you tell them?" he whispered. "Why didn't you say who I was?" She looked up at him with quiet strength. "Because I didn't want them to fear your name. I wanted them to see me. And now, they have." James kissed her forehead, pride burning in his heart. He realized then that Emily wasn't weak. Her strength wasn't in fighting back with fists, but in enduring, in holding her dignity when others tried to strip it away. That night, as they drove home under the stars, Emily rested her head on his shoulder. She was safe, loved, protected, and the message was clear. You never know the battles someone has fought, the warriors who stand silently behind them. Kindness costs nothing, but cruelty can cost you everything. Sparkle's ending message for viewers. No matter how quiet, how gentle, or how overlooked someone seems, never mistake their silence for weakness. Everyone has unseen strength, and sometimes, unseen protectors.